kind of wanted to talk about the Fed dropping interest rates or potentially dropping interest rates, right? I don't think young farmers, young homesteaders need to look at that as an opportunity to borrow money. The rates that you're getting will forever be higher than the rates of people who are telling you that having debt is a good thing. As a person who works in a corporate job where I get to see the company's money, so to speak, right? I'm able to understand more and more how the rich are able to borrow for pennies on the dollar at interest rates that are astronomically low. And that's why their debt is good debt, right? They say owning a home is good debt. And they say having, literal loans and borrowing money is good debt. But when you think about, these are people who own millions in stocks, some even billions worth of stocks. So at that point, they're borrowing against value that they already have. They're also borrowing against value that is unrealized, meaning it's volatile value. So if they pull out the million that it takes to build their home, that price drops. And by that price dropping, they take a double whammy. But if they borrow against it, their money stays inside and it continues to grow, which then keeps the prices high. And because the prices are high, it winds up making them more money in the end, which is why their interest rates are astronomically low. Where you or I would see 6%, 7% on a loan for a house or whatever, or maybe even higher than that, they're seeing 1%, 2%, 3%. You don't have $1 million to leverage in stock that's guaranteed to either pay even or pay more, depending on if a person defaults on their loan. You don't have that money. You don't have that ability to leverage anything of that high of a value so that the money that you get from the bank is basically them just handing you money that you already have. If you look through many of my comments, you'll see people continuously pushing the idea low debt or no debt. I will continue to push the idea low debt or no debt. Buy the cheap truck, buy the beat up vehicle, buy the one that gets you just from point A to point B. Borrow a friend's combine, rent a combine. You don't have to own it in order to use it, rent it, because a lot of people are purchasing these items and not finding enough value for them in the long run. I know it's counter to the American dream, it's counter to what we've been taught, but what we've been taught has been what's good for people who have the means. It has not been for people like us who are trying to get the means. The way that those people got the means is the same way that you will have to get the means. And then once you get the means, then you could talk about how good debt is. You could talk about how easy it is to live the American dream. But we've got to stop taking advice from people who don't live how we live.